I know I've thought about spiral notebooks more than just about anybody else. I'm going to first concentrate on letter size spiral US school sort of notebooks, and then I'll bring in some Japanese options. I'm going to start by going through each one individually. The cheapest of all the notebooks, I call this the back to school one. This happens to be Staples, as does the next level I have, but these can be found at Walmart or my local Kroger I checked, which is a Fred Meyer. You can get these for about $1. Sometimes they're less for back to school. Let's just call them $1 notebook. They are not letter size. They're 8 by 10.5 generally. And they can come in college ruled or wide, which is nice. They're very bendy. They're very lightweight. So again, some of these things are either pros or cons depending on your use. The paper, however, is not very nice. It turns yellow quickly. This one's a little bit better. I think I found that the Staples ones have a little bit better paper quality in past years. I don't buy them anymore, so I can't say. They have a small coil. You can only fit the thinnest of writing implements into the coil if you're the kind that carries them that way, which I am if I take them out and about these days. Because if I don't take them out and about much, but if I'm going to a meeting, I tend to have a pen or pencil that I'm willing to lose stuck in the coil when I go. That is the notebook. They're about 70 pages. The next level up, which I found at all of the common places, again, you can get them at Fred Meyer, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them online. There's the next step up, whereas this is, I call the dollar notebook or the cheap notebook. This is the level up, and they are usually from 3 something to maybe about $5. You're not comparing apples to apples either in terms of size, because then you generally are stepping up to 8.5 by 11, which is really nice if you want to either have something affixed to the page, but also you often get a pocket in this kind, so you can fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet into the pocket. You get a bigger coil generally, and so you can fit, what's the thickest here? Either an Inkjoy. So an Inkjoy you can fit in, a G2. You could force, not that easily. My favorite, newest of the carry-around pens that I'm willing to lose, the Uniball. So those all fit pretty well. But you're getting 100 pages here where you're getting 70 here. Even though it's 3 or 4 times more expensive, you are getting half again, almost as many pages. And again, with the better quality, it's not as bendy. It generally has cardboard on the back and a waterproof cover on the front. So those are kind of the ones you can find everywhere that you can always just pick one up. My favorite, because if you've watched almost any of my videos, I am in my spiral notebook all day. Well, not all day, but every day for at least some period of time. I love these Hamelin notebooks. These are on Amazon. They're about $10. So yes, it's way more than this, but you're getting more than twice as many pages. These are exactly 150 pages. They are the 8.5 by 11. So if we compare size, they're 8.5 by 11. They have this hard backing on the front and back. They have this nice wide coil that you can fit anything you might possibly want into here. I've never tried. You might even be able to fit 2 things in here at once if you wanted a pencil and a pen. It's tight. Ooh, there goes the pencil. I just love this coil. There's plenty of room because I tend to, glue pages into here. And so I have enough coil or spiral to have it expand on me, and it's fine. The paper is just creamy and soft. Now, again, some people like paper with tooth. I don't use fountain pens. I do use highlighters. So these are the Stabilo Boss highlighters. And, there's barely any ghosting at all. It's just really nice paper. You do get your pocket that a piece of copy paper fits in here nicely. I like that these are plain because I tend to often have things stuck on here. So I like that it's a nice plain canvas that's, again, nice and hard. And felt like I just thought of something else. Oh, I know, because this one's not new. They come with, this is one in the waiting. They come with little tabs and a label and this, page. I just always rip this out. This is explaining their Scribsy system. I've never, it says it works with Evernote. If I want it scanned, I can scan it and put it where I want it. This is my favorite notebook. So those are the three basics, just again to line these up. You can see the size. The other one I want to compare the size to is an A4. So those, these are all US notebooks. The rest of the world, as in many things, does things better and has a standard notebook that makes sense in comparison with their other size notebooks. So I'm just going to take this to an 8.5 by 11. Just pick the middle guy here. An A4 is taller and not as wide. An A4, 297 by 218 millimeters. This happens to be a dot grid one that I have around. This is by probably Maruman, which I got on Amazon for like mind mapping and stuff. Before I get onto the Japanese notebooks, I want to let you know that I made you a free guide for choosing a spiral notebook. And there's a link in the description. Talk more about it at the end of the video. I am a fan of the Maruman Mnemosyne Adventures in Pronunciation here. So this is a B5 Mnemosyne, and then this is an A5. This one is newer. I left the label on just so that you can see the kind of information they give you. So these are both lined, but in case you're not familiar with paper sizes around the world, what is so cool about everywhere else is an A4 is half of an, or sorry, an A5 is half of an A4. Again, this is a little bigger because of the coil and stuff, but that's true with all their paper sizes. I think it starts, whatever the largest is A1.
And half of an A1 is an A2, and half of an A2 is an A3, and half of an A3 is an A4, and half.
The most standard if you're writing is A4, A5. This is roughly half letter. If I was on the ball, I would have grabbed a half letter, but you can see it's roughly half letter, but it's a little fatter than what a half letter would be. And this is the same size as like a Moleskine or a Leuchtturm, these common sizes. But again, I have realized I don't buy those anymore. I am a fan of spirals because I like to leave them open on my desk. The Mnemosynes in the lined ones, in both sizes, they come, what I didn't realize when I bought it is they have this giant title section, which, I kind of wish this line wasn't there because it influences me when it shouldn't. But there are these other lines which are kind of helpful. They're broken into 10, 10, 10. So both of them are 30 lines. Oh, it's only 8. So this is 24 lines. So I bet these are both 7 millimeter lines. And this is 8, 8, 8. And this is 10, 10, 10. So that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that's what it is. Before I bought the lined ones, when I was still in a dot grid phase, I had this come in graph. I don't know that they come in blank, but what's nice about these, the paper is so nice. I like smooth paper. I was a plum paper planner person for a long time. Nice smooth paper. These are cream, so you can't, well, you can, but like a standard Tombow, this is not white enough to be perfect on, these kind of things. This is the color that works best on the Japanese papers. So this happens to be a 4 millimeter one, and they don't work super well. They kind of get a little janky. Take an S off there. All right. So color-wise, that works really well. Again, these Mnemosynes I love. B5, A5, A4. Again, this one's not a Mnemosyne, but it's the same parent company, Maruman. All of these are on Amazon. I'll link them below. But just think about, does that color bug you? Maybe you don't like the white paper and you've been looking for cream paper. Maybe the cream paper bugs you because you can't use correction tape. Well, now that you know you have this, maybe it's okay to use this. I got a little rambly there, so we're going to come back and just wrap up these Japanese notebooks. They're plastic front and back, have the double O coil, which is just enough to fit a smallish pen. You can't fit any of the fatter ones. And they have rounded corners, which is nice if you're going to carry them around. They're about 10 bucks each, but usually you can get a 2-pack for about 17. They're not usually on Prime, so you generally have to wait a week-ish or so. I just love them for, again, I like a spiral, so I can have it sitting on my desk like this, which is not something you can do with a Leuchtturm or a Moleskine journal style notebook. I hope you found some useful tips there, or at least, if nothing else, I've entertained you, because who would have thought so much about spiral notebooks? I know, I'm a little bit extra. But remember, there's that guide down in the description below if you want to check that out. It does have some more information that's not in the video, because let's face it, the video was long enough. And I have plenty more videos on productivity, which is not a bad word, and goal setting. And over here, I will put the links to my spiral notebook videos, because obviously that's something that you're interested in. So hope to see you again soon. Like and subscribe, and take care. We'll see you soon.